they have a clear agenda. They're not here for you, obviously. They're here to make money too, just like everybody else. But they make money by selling your credit information to other companies. They have a system to collect your data and to issue you out a credit score. Hey guys, TommyBryson here. And most people, they want to get good credit. And most people actually get to have good credit. But the main problem is they can't sustain it. And I can't tell you how many stories I've heard about people saying, Tommy, I used to have good credit, but then this happened. I had a 740, but then this happened, okay? And it happens all the time. So with this method in this video called OBM, I'm going to give you the way to maintain a good credit score year-round and not have to worry about getting into extra debt. And before you say, Tommy, are you on your phone while making the video? The answer is yes, okay? Because some of you guys know me, some of you guys don't, but I don't want you to watch an entire video. Me telling you, hey, I'll tell you how this works, but you don't really know if what you need is in the video. Well, here's my credit score right here. It's actually a 767, and you might say, Tommy, that's not that high, but guess where it puts me? It puts me in excellence. So if I go to a bank to get money, an 850 and a 767 is basically the same exact thing. I'm still excellent, and that is great. I don't need to be fancy. I don't need to get a fancy number if it results in the same thing. So I'm telling you here in this video, it works. What I'm going to show you, it works. You maintain a good credit score year round, and you don't have to keep worrying. And by the way, I don't know if I told you guys a story before, but I went to college, okay? And it's not about that fancy piece of paper, this story, but it's actually about what I learned in college. I learned this method about the least amount of work to get the highest return. I call it being a smart, lazy person, honestly. And everyone in college, all my friends would say, Tommy, how are you able to be on the dean's list, president's list, get extra scholarship money, and get everything you want? You're not working harder than us. And the answer was, yeah, you're right. I am not working smarter than you, but I'm doing something that you're not doing, and I'm doing something that you don't know about. And what I was doing was simple. I was going straight to the source. So I knew I wanted something which was good grades and to kind of not pay for anything in college. Okay, that's what I wanted. So I went individually, not to my classmates, not to my parents, not to any mentors. I went individually to each teacher and I asked them, what do I need to do to get good grades in your class? And the answer was, some said, hey, pay attention, do your homework, ask questions, participate. And the questions were very different. And I gave them what they wanted, and in return, I made it easy for them to give me good grades. I didn't have to do more work. I just had to do what they wanted me to do, and that got me what I wanted. Now, why did I tell you this story? Because the same thing applies here. We want to have a good credit score. So if we know how credit works and how to manipulate it, and we feed the system what it basically needs, naturally, we are going to get what we want. And the system is basically called least effort for the highest return. That's it right there. That's what I invented back in college because I wanted to be very lazy, but get all the results that I basically wanted, which kind of worked very well, okay? If you're new here, guys, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you're notified. I post videos every single week. You don't want to miss them. And on top of that, smash the like button because it helps out with the algorithm, and I appreciate it a ton. Now, the very first thing is, guys, we got to understand how credit works. And Tommy, I know this stuff, okay? It's all about the payment history, paying on time and doing this and that. I get that, okay? But in reality, there are three main parties involved in this entire credit game. It's how it works, okay? The first party is going to be us. And us, I mean consumers. And we have a clear agenda. We want to have good credit scores so then we can go ahead and basically buy the things we want to buy but can't afford all the money at once because you might have $10,000 or $20,000, but do you have $200,000 to buy a house or $300,000 or $400,000? That's why you basically need credit to pay that thing off over 15, 30 years. It takes a lot of time and money. It's how it works. That is our... I didn't ask you a question, Siri, but that is our clear agenda. And then you have, for example, also the lenders and the co-lenders, okay? And these people are like, you know, like those Siamese twins where they're attached at the hip or at the head, like any body part, but they're like together, but they're separate, different people, but they're still like together, can't move without each other. It's kind of like the lenders are like the big banks. the credit unions, the big credit card companies. And then the co-lenders are basically like the companies like Best Buy and Mattress Firm and Office Max. And whenever you go into those companies and say, hey, can I give you your credit card? And the banks say, hey, do you want to have some money, like to borrow money? And the agenda here is simple. These are all for-profit companies, and they want to make money from you. And their inventory, what they sell you is money. They give you money or inventory in a sense to kind of get you to pay interest over a long period of time. That's why whenever you go to a bank and you act, I've done this by the way, I'm a big nerd on this stuff. You ask them, hey, how do I build my credit score? They tell you, just pay your bill on time. And sometimes they say, just pay a little extra so that way you get to finish it off a lot faster. But they want you to do that because the agenda is, we want you to take as long as possible to pay this thing on time so we get that money ASAP. But on top of that, we get those interest payments paid to us all the time. And we get to make more and more and more money from you. And the co-lenders, like for example, Office Firm, Mattress Firm, Office Depot, Best Buy, Gap, everyone has like a credit card and stuff like that now. And they all say, hey, we'll give you 24 months, 12 months. You guys heard about that? Comment down below if you have. And they say like, we'll give you 24 months and you don't have to worry about interest payments. You know why? Because the product has a huge markup. They sell it to you right away, and then it's your problem if you don't pay it off, because if you don't, they charge you all that interest all at once, okay? And that is pretty crazy and insane. I've seen that happen. That's the agenda here. But then the last party here is the source. Remember I told you guys about the source? You don't go to the students, you don't go to the professor, well, you do go to the professors to find out exactly what they want from you to give you what you basically want. Very simple. And these are the credit bureaus. And you have three main bureaus, and they're basically TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And these right here, they have a clear agenda. They're not here for you, obviously. They're here to make money too, just like everybody else. But they make money by selling your credit information to other companies. And what they basically want to have is basically, they have a system to collect your data and to issue you out a credit score. So if you can understand exactly what they need from you in order to give you, for example, an excellent credit score rating, and that's the goal here. You don't need an 850. You just need to be in the excellent. Not in good. Good is fine for a while, but you want to travel into the excellent. That way you get the best rates possible whenever you want to buy anything. And here is where things get interesting. Again, this is the source. This is the system. This is basically Credit Karma and all these places, right? So what you want to do is feed the system what it needs. By the way, fun fact here, if you're paying to get your credit report or get any of that stuff, please stop, okay? So wasting money. I've been using Credit Karma for years. It works great. It's accurate. I've gotten everything with it, and it is fine. Am I sponsored? The answer is no. But I'm not going to pay anyone to basically give me a number that's free, okay? You don't need to do that, okay? Now, you know the source. But tell me, what information or what does the source need to give me what I want, which is a great credit score? And I want that so whenever I want to buy something, I get the best rates possible. Good question. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm some super genius here. The answer is I'm really not. Everything is basically like Googleable. Googleable, okay? Everything's on Google. So if you type in credit score factors, it tells you right away that there are 5 main factors. Let me go ahead and move my face out of here. 5 main factors, and they're basically, hey, I have a big picture here, so don't worry. Right here, you have types of credit in use, you have new credits, length of credit history, payment history, and then you have, for example, amounts owed. Now, one thing I've learned is, guys, I never want to be the guy that's super detailed, super involved, just to get a result that the guy that's not really paying attention also gets. Like, I don't want to be an overachiever to get the same results. I want to basically put in the least amount of effort to get the highest return. That's what I want. Exactly what I want. So what did I notice here right away when I did my research is that, hey, although you have 5 factors, only 2 are super important. Because these 2 right here, if done correctly, they fall into these 3 right here. Because again, types of credit use is basically, do you have, for example, credit cards, loans, car loans in there? Like a mix of credit to show that you're responsible with different things, okay? New credit. Did you open up a new credit line? That hurts you in some ways. Be careful, okay? Because you're applying, you're doing a check, That's like 2 points. And on top of that, you have a new credit line, so it kind of adjusts everything. So that's important. Be careful opening new lines of credit, okay? And then length of history is you can't really change this. There's no hack around this. You either have 1 year or 2 years, but you can't get 10 years of experience in 1 year. It just doesn't work like that, okay? 10 years takes 10 years. It's just how it works. But payment history and amounts owed is the most important part. And once you understand the system, you understand why. Because payment history tells them, hey, this person right here is always going to pay us on time. And that's what I care about the most if I'm going to be lending you money, obviously. And amounts owed basically means, hey, out of all the money you've been lent to or available to you, so if I give you a credit line of $1,000 and you're borrowing 900, that shows me that you're basically borrowing 90% of all the money. So I might not want to lend you more money because you're basically capped out. You're already in trouble. It's like trying to give a glass of water to a drowning person. Like, you have enough water there. It's fine. You'll be good, right? You don't want to do that. That's the point. So the clear idea here is, well, I get this now, but how can I manipulate this or do what I need to do to give them what they want so I get exactly what I want? And this is simple. And it's so simple that you're probably going to think that it's stupid, but that's how simple it actually is. That's how easy it is. Everyone complicates everything. It's not that hard whatsoever. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're brand new to credit, you need to have a credit card. If you can't basically get accepted, it's kind of weird, right? It's like when you graduate and you can't get a job because you have no experience. So important. When you're in college, make sure to do internships. Yes, they're free, but they give you experience. So when you graduate, you can actually get a job, okay? That's very important. But if you're new to credit, look up secured credit cards, TommyBryson on YouTube, and it shows you how to acquire one of those credit cards because they're a lot more easier to basically get. Secure credit cards. Now, if you already have, for example, like a credit history, you have like 1 or 2, 3 credit cards, then great. You only really need one. And if you have bad credit score, that's fine. Look up how to fix credit on YouTube, TommyBryson. I show you videos on how to fix it, okay? But overall, you just need 1 or 2 or 3 credit cards, and that's all you need. And by the way, if you have any credit cards that you kind of got when you were younger and they're charging you an annual fee, I would cancel those out, me personally. But understand that when you cancel these things out, they're going to affect your length in credit history, and then that's going to affect your credit score temporarily for a while. So it's going to go down. So clearly, don't make these changes if you plan on buying a house in the next like 12 months or so, because you need to have everything just normal and you don't need to be doing anything right now that's going to be affecting your credit score in any dramatic way. Okay, now this method is simple. It's called the OBM method, which basically stands for one bill method. That's it. So what you want to do is you want to have all of these credit cards, okay, whether it's 1, 2, or 3, and you want to make sure that it has a zero balance or you're paying it off in full every single month, okay? And then you stop basically adding new bills to them and don't carry them around in your wallet anymore. You don't need to do that because you don't need to constantly be going into more debt and worrying about points because no one ever gets rich off of points. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true, okay? And credit card use, whenever you use credit cards, you usually spend 18% more. Do the research. It was done by Harvard, and that's what I'm telling you. So debit and cash gets you to spend less because it basically inhibits or it exhibits like pain receptors in your brain to kind of be like, hey, I don't really want to spend that much money. And I noticed that. I spend a lot less money whenever I'm using cash or debit, okay? And the research is there to back it up. But overall, once you have these 3 credit cards, the goal is you add 1 bill to each of them that's going to be recurring every single month. So for me, I might have my phone bill on 1 credit card. I might have my Netflix bill on 1 credit card. And I might have my Apple Music on another credit card, or electricity, or internet, like bills that get recurring chargedly every single month to your entire credit card, okay? That's the idea. And then what you want to do clearly is set those credit cards to pay themselves in full every single month. And you might be wondering, Tommy, do you do this yourself? The answer is yes. My credit cards are all laying around me. I don't use them, okay? Not like to buy things anymore or whatsoever. I don't use them like I used to because I don't have to use them that way to put myself at risk if I'm going to get the same results anyways. It makes no sense to apply more effort to get the same results. It's like very stupid. Now, overall, once you do this, you have credit cards, you have bills that are recurring on them, and you're paying them in full every month automatically. You don't have to worry about borrowing a bunch of money. is done automatically and the system kind of grows by itself. Now, clearly, here's why this basically works. And here we're going to go back to the source. I don't matter. What matters is the source. The source cares about payment history. So by doing this system, are you developing a good payment history? The answer is yes, because every single month you have 3 bills that are being charged and you have 3 payments that are being sent on time without anything ever being missed. That's awesome. That gets you credit card points very fast. And then third, amounts owed. Are you borrowing a bunch of money? The answer is no, because it's a small bill, so it's not utilizing a bunch of your actual credit line. Now, I noticed, and for me, what works best is you want to keep your credit card use to 10%. They call that utilization, meaning that whatever amount of money they basically give you as a credit line, use 10% or less. Right now, mine is 0. Now, again, I like showing and learning by example, so I always do this in all of my videos. And right here is my entire phone with my Credit Karma. And I want to show you that this basically works overall, okay? So right here is my Credit Karma. Let it kind of like do the whole loading up thing. And if I click, for example, on Equifax right here, you'll see what's going on, all right? So for the past, let me go down here. Everything that's green is basically good right here. You're going to see I don't miss payments 100%. Credit card use is 0%. No crazy marks from collections. Credit card age 5 years, 1 month. 15 accounts, 0 hard inquiries. Now, what I will say about credit card age is it's kind of like a long-term thing. Like the longer you have these accounts for, it kind of grows and it kind of gets your credit score up there, but it just is a part of time. Like the longer you have them, the better it gets. But if you're brand new, you're brand new, and that's all you can basically do. So don't really worry about that much. With time, it's gonna average out. That's the idea. Now, if you have new accounts that you're basically adding, your older accounts are basically gonna get average. So if right now I open up a new credit line, my entire average of 5 years is actually going to go like to 3 years or 4 years. And that's actually going to make my credit score actually go lower a little bit, but just by like 10% or so, because again, we know how this system, or 15%, because we know how the system basically works. But if you notice here, okay, my score history, which is right here, let it like do the whole loading up thing. If I click here, which is 1 year, you will see that basically I've had the same exact credit score forever, which has been like 667 forever. And I had this massive drop right here to go down to 720, and then it went right back up to 667, and we're here. Okay, here. Why is it doing that? There you go. So 67 and 67. So basically, I had this massive drop, but the only reason was because I lost my debit card where all my money was basically at. So temporarily, I had to use this, and I basically used a lot of money on it. And then it dropped my credit score. So my credit utilization basically went up like crazy. And remember, this right here is a big part. So all of a sudden, I am showing like I'm borrowing a bunch of money. My credit score goes down like 40 points. And then next month, once I get basically my new debit card and I pay off the account, it goes right back up to 77. Now, as I keep doing this method, and I have been doing this method like forever, like for years now, my credit score is going to stay in excellence. And it's going to keep going up and up and up as my credit age also improves. This is the system that I created called OBM. It's very simple, one bill method. Don't complicate it. Don't worry about points. I know that you spend money on groceries and on gas and you want to get that 2%, but overall, it doesn't really matter. And what it really makes it is more complicated because you have more things to track and everything else. For me, it's a lot more simple to just have those 3 bills or 4 bills on those 4 credit cards, pay them off in full every single month. Don't worry about them. They're automated. My credit score goes up. And whenever I want to buy my next property or an investment property, I can do it without having to have a whole conversation because everything is right there and all the facts are right there together. That's the idea. That's the video. Hopefully this helped you. And remember, always go to the source. Always find out who is the person or the entity that is going to give you what you want and what they need from you so you can get what you want. It's always a partnership. This right here is a partnership. I'm not borrowing a bunch of money, but I'm giving them exactly what they want. It's hacking the system. And if this ever changes, I'll update this video, but it's likely that it's not ever going to change. Most likely, okay? That's my opinion, okay? But we'll see. If it changes, I'll be here on YouTube. I'll make a new video. And you'll know about it, okay? Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. Comment down below if you have any questions. I'll be in the comments all day answering comments. And on top of that, also, here's another video up here. If you want to follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram at TommyBryson. And thanks for watching. As always, long-term team officially out.